Alright, before we get to the Magic Wand tool, um, I'd like to briefly go over the Quick Selection tool. Let me zoom out of this picture real quick. I'll use the magnifying glass and I'll just zoom out. Alright, now with a plain background, this blue sky, it's pretty easy to select just the background without selecting the subject. So we can make the color of the sky change or do paint in some colors, whatever. One of the tools you can use in the toolbar is called the Quick Selection tool. If you click and hold on the Quick Selection tool, there's the Magic Wand, which will be our next lesson. But let's start with the Quick Selection tool. It can be pretty useful. It's not the best tool in the world for selecting, neither is the Magic Wand, and sometimes you have to do a combination of tools to select exactly what you want. To use the Quick Selection tool, you just click and drag. You notice it's selecting a lot of blue all at once. It's doing a nice job of going around the head, but as I continue, you notice there are a few problems with the Quick Selection tool. This part of the shirt now is selected and it made a mistake down here. Let me zoom in down here at the bottom left. Remember, you can use a space, holding down the space bar you can move around. Okay. Now I want to not select the gray part of the shirt here. So what I could do is hold down my Alt. Here, let me click on the tool again. I could hold down on my Alt key, and now I've got a minus. If I let go of my Alt key, or Option on a Mac, now it's a plus. Plus means adding to the selection, minus means subtracting from the selection. And I would like to subtract this part, so only the blue is selected. Now, I could probably use the Quick Selection tool again, or I could use the Lasso. Notice the lasso has a minus, and I could try to follow this line, but it's hard to follow it exactly. So I'm going to go Edit, Undo Lasso. I'll mention the Magnetic Lasso tool. This is tougher to use, but it can sometimes be a very precise tool for selecting an area. I'll hold down in my Alt key, so it says minus on my little icon there. And the magnetic lasso tool is really good at following a line. So I'm following this line between the blue and the gray. The problem with the magnetic lasso tool is you have to close the circle. And sometimes you have to click or let go to mark a spot or to follow the line. And notice that it's following this line. And you have to close the loop and click on the end of the, or the beginning of the lasso. And when I did that, you notice now that the gray is not selected, although there's a problem down here at the bottom. I would be very careful using the magnetic lasso tool. It is not an easy one. I just bring it up because you might want to use it. This area here, I would probably use a magnetic lasso so that the shirt isn't selected, but it's going to take a lot of work to follow this line. So that's why probably I don't always use the Quick Selection tool. What I'll use most of the time is the Magic Wand if I'm doing a very easy selection, but you can use multiple tools. Alright, I'd like you to go to the next screencast called Magic Wand Part 1, but just keep in mind that the Quick Selection tool is available, and so is that Magnetic Lasso tool. But I think what I recommend for most of you to start with, if you're a beginner in Photoshop, is use the Magic Wand and the Lasso tool, and once you become more familiar with that, then maybe go back to the Quick Selection tool and the Magnetic Lasso tool, or find a combination that works best for you.